This guy did an interview with my colleague Ari Melber here on MSNBC last night.
He said the quiet part out loud.
Another member of Trump's inner circle subpoenaed, former White House trade advisor Peter Navarro.
I'll tell this committee is simply, look, not my privilege to waive.
Or is it? That was newly subpoenaed Trump aide Peter Navarro, who joined us again on the beat last night. Now, this did happen here, but the interview is making headlines among other independent media, both on what he said about Mike Pence and this planned attempt to wage war over privilege with the committee. Navarro dodged a lot of questions, even though he has previously admitted to his plan to overthrow the election with a so-called Green Bay sweep. And we also discussed other things that he didn't want to get into, like a proposal to seize voting machines by the military.
You cannot assert on the Pence side that President Trump was wrong.
Vice President Harris will ultimately have the call over who should be president, regardless of the results.
You've misconstrued the whole Green Bay sweep plan.
It seems like it's making you stretch when we just changed the name from Pence to Harris. Are you holding the contention?
No. If any vice president, you have 2 hours of
is that a
debate
yes
in
or
each
no, Peter?
chamber, and at the end of that, you have the
Peter,
ability
you're an outspoken
to send
individual.
those
Was that
back
a
to
yes?
the
Because I
states
didn't hear a
for
yes.
second.
I think we got your answer on that. I want to go to this other plot about a proposal to involve the military. Did you or your staff ever attend or arrange any meetings to discuss that plan?
One of my staff members, without my knowledge, may have been involved. But no, I had nothing to do with that.
You had something to do with it if your aide facilitated it. Let me give the background here as part of the interview, and then let me let you respond.
Knowledge of what he did.
Let me put this up for the viewers, and then I'll let you respond.
No,
New York Times.
Yep. No, sorry.
New York. Was it wrong for your aide to facilitate that meeting?
I have no comment on that.
That's what it looks like when one of the most outspoken people advocating what he called a peaceful way to keep Trump in power, to overthrow the election, what had many of the elements of a coup attempt, when even he, Mr. Navarro, has reached this point in the conversation. I'm not saying it's because of one interview or one press report or even one subpoena, but collectively, although I admit I am reporting and analyzing something that I was journalistically involved in because I interviewed him, collectively, I think you can see what's happening here. Mr. Navarro has gone from saying everything he did was great and he's proud of it and he's touting it, to evading questions on several of the key points, which are also under criminal investigation. And it may be true. Time will tell, perhaps, through these investigations, whether he knew nothing of what his own aide did, whether he knew nothing of an elector's plot that seemed to intersect with his sweep plot, whether he knew nothing of a proposal to get the military involved to a degree that Giuliani said would land them all in prison. The other interesting thing I want to play for you before we turn to a prosecutor for some independent legal analysis is the road ahead. Navarro saying he will challenge this subpoena, and in fairness, any witness may lawfully pursue the measures to do that, but he did cite an asserted privilege he may have already waived. What do you say to former Vice President Pence?
Well, I'd love to do an intervention with Mike Pence.
Peter, he says you're un-American. He says you're wrong.
Mike was just a tool and a puppet of these guys. He betrayed the president.
You just think Mike Pence is wrong, doesn't understand the law or the Constitution.
Yes.
Why risk a legal battle or going to jail to refuse to discuss them with the committee under oath?
The president has invoked executive privilege. It's not my privilege to waive.
Do you understand that you've already waived it by discussing it they want under oath? And number two, finally, Peter, are you prepared to risk indictment for defying the subpoena?
I'll stand tall on this.
That's his answer. It's newsworthy.